So there are basically two constant things in video games, death and loading screens, and you will see both a lot across your digital tenure as failure and punishment formulate the actual essence of the game which we're playing. And yet, think about it this way, in the true narrative of the game, you never die. I mean, Lara Croft doesn't turn to gold from stepping on Midas's hand, Crash Bandicoot doesn't burn alive in lava, and I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man didn't actually give us this classic moment. However, there have been some times where, shock horror, you were totally offed for storyline reasons, or thanks to the big bad actually getting one up on you. But here's the thing, you remember that expression, what doesn't kill you only makes you more rage-filled and gives you a lust for vengeance? Well, is that a northern variation on it? Well, that's but about gaming. Yeah, as I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 times you came back from the dead to kick ass in video games. Number 10, Commander Shepard, Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 opens with one of the most memorable death scenes in video game history, as the Normandy, aka the Bang Bus of the Milky Way, is suddenly attacked and Commander Shepard sacrifices themselves by forcing the ship's pilot Joker into the final escape pod. Players are then made to watch as Shepard is blasted into the void of space and promptly asphyxiated when their suit is breached, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the rest of the game might actually be fronted by someone else who maybe takes on the code name of Shepard. But it's then revealed moments later that Shepard's body was recovered by the elusive man's outfit Cerberus, who then initiate the Lazarus Project in order to bring them back to life. But there's one thing that clearly burned more than your charred and rather crispy body, and that was the desire for vengeance in your heart. And as such, taking on the world as Shepard 2.0 was an absolute joy. Plus it helped that the game was arguably the best in the series. Number 9, Markus, Detroit Become Human. One of Detroit Become Human's 3 playable characters is Markus, a caretaker android whose consciousness is awakened over the course of the game, setting him on a path to become an android revolutionary, or not if you choose to bungle some of the choices. However, this promising career as capitalist botherer seems like it's going to be cut short when Markus is shot by the police while trying to care for his friend Carl. And seeing as this game heavily leans on choices and death being permanent, we were ready to hang up the robo-revolutionary cape right there and then. It was quite a shame because I just had mine pressed. However, Markus is then shown waking up in a junkyard that better resembles an android graveyard, and you now have to force him to reassemble himself with whatever scrap is scattered around. You emerge not only as a literal new man, but also with a desire to seek justice, which will never cease, ever. So watch out, world. The Amazon parcel drones, they're coming for you. Number 8, The Courier, Fallout New Vegas. Okay, so we're just going to agree, as we must always do when talking about Fallout New Vegas, that this is the best game in the modern franchise. Yes, good, great, gold star for you, but things don't exactly start off well when the Courier, who is this game's protagonist, is rather bluntly shot in the face by mobster Benny. It's only with the help of a rootin' robot and Doc Marshall that you come back from the brink, and once you're patched together again, you might be a bit miffed about that whole shot in the face thing. And so, if you follow the game's main plot, you'll track down Benny and give him a taste of his own medicine by sleeping with him. No, God, keep it in your pants, ma'am. He shot you in the goddamn dome. So why not return the favour and plug him and any other goon eyeballing you for good measure? The house might always win, but the housekeeping staff will always lose here, as that's a lot of brain to clean up. Number 7, Kratos, God of War. God of War's Kratos has basically taken the back from the dead trope to the verges of self-parody with the sheer number of times that he's managed to slip free of death's grip. In the first game, Kratos ends up killed after Ares impales him with a pillar, and it's only after fighting his way through the underworld is he able to return to Athens and destroy said pillar impaler. In God of War 2, Zeus himself kills him with the Blades of Olympus at the start of the game for failing to pledge fealty to the gods, and Kratos must again fight through the underworld in order to wreak vengeance on said blady baddie. Then, in the climax of the third game, Kratos willingly impales himself on the Blades of Olympus in order to give humanity hope. And the game's final moments simply show a bloody trail leading to the ocean. But by the time the 2018 follow-up rolled around, Kratos is shown to be alive and well once again, though it's never actually explained how he came back or how he made it to Midgard. But to be honest, we'll give him a pass, as this is probably one of the best games that I have ever played. Number 6, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. So here's the thing, I'm going to talk about Sonic 06 like his return to life after being backstabbed by Mephiles is a good thing, but let's be very clear, in all honesty, if Sonic had a choice, he'd probably have preferred to stay dead. I mean, after all, who in their right mind would want to be in this steaming pile of a game for any longer than needed? Still, this laughable, emotional car crash scene did provide one redeeming moment, and that was when the gang used the power of the Chaos Emeralds, which is basically the Sonic World's Infinity Stones, to resurrect him. And because simple resurrection wasn't enough, Sonic also ends up returning stronger than he ever has been before to help defeat Mephiles, who has now taken the form of Solaris. God, this game was dumb. Number 5. Agent 47, Hitman Blood Money. Given the line of work that the Hitman protagonist Agent 47 is in, the ability to return from the dead is pretty particularly useful. However, to be clear, Agent 47 doesn't have some sort of superhuman ability to pull himself back from the abyss, but with a little ingenuity and help from a friend, he is able to stage one hell of a near-death experience at the end of the game. Agent 47's handler, Diana, appears to kill him by injecting him with a fast-acting poison, after which a cremation ceremony is planned to make sure his DNA cannot be cloned. At this service, Diana then kisses 47 on the lips, and it's revealed that he's actually been injected with a fake death serum, and the antidote for which was on Diana's lips. After waking up and interrupting the game's end credits, which have already started rolling, Agent 47 stages a heroically badass revival by slaughtering all of the malcontents in the church, keeping his identity a secret in the process. It is honestly one of the best moments of the game. Number 4. REVAN, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic begins with the protagonist waking up aboard a Republic ship under attack, after which they set off on an epic spacefaring journey to topple the evil Darth Malak, the former apprentice of the even more terrifying Darth Revan. Except towards the end of the game, it's revealed that you are in fact Revan yourself, having been left for dead during an attack on a Republic planet after Malak turned on you, because apparently Siths just love betrayal. Honestly, when will they learn? The Jedi Council then took the opportunity to effectively neutralize Revan by erasing their memories, and boom, that's the start of the game. Therefore, you've already come back from the dead and have already started kicking ass all over the galaxy. And now, with this knowledge, hell, you could burn the universe to cinders if you wanted. But as always, the choice is up to you. Number 3. Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. The tanker set prologue section of Metal Gear Solid 2 is arguably the strongest sequence of the entire game, in large part because the players actually, get to play as Solid Snake. But the tanker segment concludes when Revolver Ocelot steals Metal Gear Ray and leaves the tanker to sink, causing more than half of the Marines on board to drown, and Snake himself is presumed dead and also, for good measure, blamed for instigating the disaster. God, talk about a rough day at the office, right? Then, in a highly controversial bait and switch, the player is given control of this floppy-haired seagull poop slider. However, there is another figure lurking over his pretty boy's shoulder, helping him out of a few tight spots, and that is Navy SEAL Iroquois Pliskin. Pliskin bears a hilariously uncanny resemblance to Snake, and of course, it is then later revealed that he is indeed the Solid Snake who survived the tanker incident and now continues to help you for the rest of his mission. And remember, he's also got infinite ammo, so I'd say that he definitely has come back to kick ass in style. And if that doesn't count, then I submit the entirety of Metal Gear Solid 4 as further proof of this intent. Number 2. BJ Blazkowicz, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. Unlike most of the resurrections on this list, Nazi-murdering Wolfenstein protagonist BJ was not simply left for dead, but categorically, undeniably sent to the great beyond in pretty nauseatingly gruesome fashion. Roughly halfway through The New Colossus, BJ is captured, sentenced to death by Frau Engel, and promptly decapitated in a televised event watched by millions. Even for the logic-skirting standards of the Wolfenstein franchise, this was a genuinely jaw-dropping moment that left fans clueless as to what would happen next. But this wasn't really the end for BJ, whose head was quickly recovered by the resistance fighters and then grafted onto the body of a bioengineered Nazi super soldier. And if that's not cool enough, BJ's health also gets doubled back to his regular 100 HP, and all of his previous injuries have been binned off for good measure. He is, without a doubt, the most efficient Nazi killer out there, and he isn't just in the business of kicking ass, he's the bloody CEO. And number 1, the Spirit Monk, Jade Empire. BioWare's Jade Empire is without a doubt one of the most underappreciated RPGs, and say it with me kids, of all time! And also features one of the coolest resurrection arcs in gaming history. In the later stages of the game, the Spirit Monk protagonist rescues their mentor Master Li from the evil Emperor. After defeating the Emperor in a boss fight, however, Master Li reveals his true colours, quickly killing the Spirit Monk and installing himself as the new Emperor. Thanks a bunch, mate. The Spirit Monk then has to battle their way through the afterlife in order to be resurrected, which of course they do because you don't get labelled the Spirit Monk willy-nilly like, and from there the player is given a choice. Either kill Li and become the new Emperor, or destroy the Water Dragon's body and become the real hero of the Jade Empire. But all that really matters is that there's more asses to kick along the way to both conclusions. So yeah, let's turn that foot sideways and shove it right up in there. And there we go, those were 10 times you came back from the dead to kick ass in video games. I hope that you enjoyed that, my friends, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. If you'd like to chat to me further about video games, film, TV, and anything else, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ0. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. We talked today about times that you got to kick ass, but only after tasting a little bit of defeat. And that is something that we probably will all experience at some point in our lives. Life is not easy, and sometimes it can be incredibly unfair, but that is no reason to give up. Failure should not be something that dissuades you from trying again. All you really need to master is trying again with help, support, love, and possibly a fresh perspective. Don't waste your energy trying again and again and again, because that will literally drive you insane. Instead, take a step back, give yourself a break, be kind to yourself, and then realize what you need to do to succeed. It could be talking to people, it could be asking for help, it could be that you just need to try something completely different in order to get to the goal in a different way. Either way, I wish you love, happiness, and success, whatever you are getting up to. You are a massive ledge in my eyes. As always, I've been Jules. You've definitely been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.